Hello everyone, and you're watching Bitcoin Bubble News Channel. Bitcoin just Bitcoin. Talk about the pivot line that I've had on my chart and shown you for what seems like a month or more. Well, Bitcoin had a great week last week. But what did I say in each and every game plan? I told you to listen. Bitcoin Bubble stands out because it is clear and easy to understand. There's no limit to who can join, no matter how much they know about crypto or how new they are to it. Guess who is watching us now? The author of the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Hey, Robert Kiyosaki, you poor dad. We'd also like to use this chance to thank everyone who put their trust in us. The best part is that it's free and we read all of them. If you sign up now, you'll get all the new information for free. Stay ahead of the trends instead of just following them. Sign up for Bitcoin Bubble right now and enjoy the new edge. Let's talk about Bitcoin and other things in this movie. First, we'll look at gold. Right now, let's talk about Bitcoin. But look at gold again. Gold keeps going up because people think the Fed will be less strict, right? Based on the Fed Watch tool, it looks like the Fed now wants to cut rates by 50 basis points. This suggests that gold may be heading toward the $2,660 level. Once more, I want to quickly show you how I arrived at that $2,660 price goal. Anyway, I don't find anything fancy. By the way, a lot of these people come up with crazy ideas like target prices and other things like that. I'm very honest and honest. This map should tell me something. If it doesn't, I don't have anything. Okay, I don't have a crystal ball that tells me specific things. You only need to look at the charts to understand what they're telling you. I changed the view to logarithmic and the base to logarithmic. The charts now show percentages more than prices. That's why I think it's so useful. So if we zoom out and look back a long time, like with Bitcoin, you have to use log because it's too hard to kind of work through otherwise. What do we see when we go to gold here though? As we can see, this is the exact point where the high point of the gold bull run in 1979 was. Then there's this logarithmic high turn in 2011. And the idea is to just put the pieces together, right? We're not trying to make something new. You don't need anything fancy. I'll just use these 10 signs to make your chart look like this, okay? How often do you guys watch movies that say things like, oh guys, don't you see, keep an eye on all of these levels? Wow, isn't that cool? You should be able to tell that it's going that way. That's not true at all, please. Okay, let's keep it easy. So all we're going to do is stretch out a simple trend line that is linked to the high pivot of the bull market in 1979 and the high pivot of the bull market in 2011. And this level right up here is what you get when you do that, and we zoom in on it, which tells us that gold will face more trouble at $2,660. Now, $2,650 or $2,660 right there in that building, right? Don't take my word for it, but that's that level right there. Okay, so once more, it only gives us another spot to check. If it hits it, we might get a slowdown. And the reason I like gold pullbacks is that they give me a chance to buy. Yes. Again, I think there will be a bigger drop at some point because too many people are still getting on the long side. I really thought we'd already see a slowdown. Nothing else is being done here. It hasn't happened yet. It works. That's what's crazy. When you look at the world's best traders, most of them keep things very easy. It looks like their charts don't have many clues. My favorite thing about them is that they use trend line research. Along parallel lines which are trend lines, you can connect the dots, kind of like how we used to play connect the dots games as kids. Now let's talk about silver. Then we'll get right to Bitcoin, guys. Take a look at silver. The silver chart is actually doing pretty well right now. It did get above a key mark here. For now, we are just above this trend line that goes down, which we can see through this. The next level of resistance is of course $32.50. First, we need to check to see if it ends the day above or below this line. Keep an eye on that. It's going to be important to keep an eye on this high turn right here, which is around 32. I think it's about 32.50 right now. Resistance can be seen on the silver line. Now let's jump right into Bitcoin to get a sense of what's going on. This is a very important week for Bitcoin. The price is hanging around $60,000 as the market waits for a possible 0.5% Federal Reserve rate cut. Analysts are keeping an eye on fluctuations for important price changes. There may be the first rate cut in over 4 years at the September 18th meeting of the Federal Reserve. The markets are expecting a 0.5% drop, which could help risky investments like Bitcoin. But some economists say that big cuts are a sign of bigger problems with the economy. Bitcoin is selling close to $59,000 and is having a hard time holding on to the $60,000 support. To make the daily and weekly technical picture better, there must be a breakout above $60,000. Bitcoin buyers are getting ready for price changes. When looking at big picture events in the economy, analyst Mark Cullen said that BTC had a rough week. The price could go up in a bullish way if key support holds. Bitcoin is still below important RSI and Ichimoku trend lines, which are still acting as support. If these levels are broken, the price could go up even more. Bitcoin is still the leader, but Ethereum is at an all-time low compared to BTC. Bitcoin now controls 58% of the market cap, which is the highest amount since April 2021. The Federal Reserve's choice this week could be a big deal for Bitcoin. Depending on how the market reacts to rate cuts, there could be either a rise or more losses. It's Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Talk about the pivot line that I've had on my chart and shown you for what seems like a month or more. Well, Bitcoin had a great week last week. But what did I say in each and every game plan? I told you, listen, that was a great move up. But unless it stays above this line, you should expect a pullback. What will happen to Bitcoin? It gets right up to it. Turn down. That's why charts are useful. Once more, it's not hard. I mean, it's pretty much in the middle of the channel and it works. So what does this tell us? Well, I've told you guys every day that if it confirms above here, boom, it should probably shoot up there in days. It's easy to pull back here and maybe even go down here as long as it stays below. Just keep that in mind. Between now and then, you'll have bounces, right? It can go this way and then bounce this way. It might even go there, bounce up there, and then go down. In the end, though, that's your level to watch. Finally, guys, I'm just going to quickly talk about oil today. Oil is going up. I could still be short on oil at this level. I'm likely to go for a short if it gets back to this level. Look at this interesting thing. There is a trend line that goes down and a trend line that goes up right here. In other words, between 72 and 73, maybe a bit above 73. That number is good. You thought there would be a breakdown, and that's exactly what happened. As I said before, I could be wrong about the economic data, but based on what I'm seeing, the yield curve is now inverting. The Fed is cutting rates, markets are falling, and the economy is slowing down. So why is the Fed cutting rates by 50 basis points? They must know that the economy is getting worse quickly. All of those things point to the downside. Okay, gas from the ground. Finally, guys, let's talk about this one again. At this stage, natural gas was turned down. Not very happy about this. I'll be honest, I'm a little let down because I was hoping it would go up a bit and I'd be able to short it just above $2.60. I didn't get it. One cool thing about it is that so many people get upset when they miss a trade that it makes them chase that trade like they'll enter now. I'm not going to do that because it's my level or nothing.